back in the day, they used to be called Walmart Media Group. They started hiring a ton of people from advertising technology from these DSPs and SSPs, and they rebranded to Walmart Connect. They announced a partnership with the Trade Desk. So the Trade Desk is a DSP, and basically said, we're going to try and build a network where you, the advertiser, can decide to spend money on our Walmart DSP, which functions through the Trade Desk.
Hello and welcome to Whyte Label Advice. My name is Brooke McNeely. I am with the VP of Marketing with WhyteSpyder, and I'm here with our two amazing guests. We are here with Corey, our VP of Product Strategy, who has just been sitting here all day. Like, we just don't even let him leave now. We just do podcast after podcast.
Yeah, I think I'm on hour 4 of just talking.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. And we're also going to change it up so we don't have Eric here today, but we do have our solution specialist, Philip Baker. And so thank you for being here, Philip.
Yeah, of course. Corey was saying that he was pretty tired of Eric, so I thought I would step in and give him kind of a less serious view of what this podcast could look like. So glad to be here.
Just more lighthearted, not much of a end of the world mindset. So
right.
It's all good.
It is,
all good vibes now.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how we're going to impact the universe or anything like that.
Right. No dominating the universe.
No.
Not even necessary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. We're just going to talk about Walmart, Northwest Arkansas, maybe the United States, and so that's exciting. We're going to rein it in a little. But today we wanted to talk about DSPs and DSP advertising and just kind of what that is. So, Corey.
Yeah. So DSP stands for Demand Side Platform. It's a piece to this larger industry called advertising technology. You have the demand side, so advertisers, brands, they all have money. They want to spend money to get people to buy their product or create awareness. And then you have supply side platforms, or where all the inventory is. So if you think of let's just say New York Times, or what's the Arkansas Gazette?
Yes, the
Democrat Gazette.
Yeah,
well done, Corey. Arkansas. Yeah.
So the Democratic Gazette, that website probably has spaces for advertisers, and if they are plugged into this modern way of advertising called programmatic advertising, they are a supplier. They are providing inventory to the demand side. So rather than the Democratic Gazette going to Nike or to Apple and saying, hey, we're a local newspaper in Northwest Arkansas, do you want to buy this ad space? Apple's never going to respond to those emails. But if they go to something called an SSP, or an exchange, supply side platform exchange, and they say, hey, we're a small player in this massive ocean of advertising, can you connect me with advertisers that want to target customers that are reading my newspaper? And so the internet is massive. There are so many pages, so many web pages, news articles that exist in the internet. And rather than all these little guys trying to talk to the biggest brands in the world, instead there are DSPs and SSPs that make that connection at scale. So it's no longer calling up someone saying, hey, do you want to buy this ad space for the next 2 weeks? Cool. It's going to be $20,000. Instead, it's someone goes to Democratic Gazette. The ID basically tells them, all right, this is Corey they don't know it's Corey. They just ID 123. He or she went onto Nike.com, looked at this pair of shoes. Now let's see if Nike wants to buy that product. So rather than talking to Nike and figuring that out, instead they go through this SSP, and that SSP is going to the DSP and saying, hey, we have this opportunity or this impression that we want to sell to Nike or to a group of advertisers that have targeted an audience segment that are people interested in shoes who maybe went to the Nike.com website in the last 30 to 60 days. And they all start bidding with each other. They say, oh, I'll do it for $1. I'll do it for $1.20. And whoever wins that gets to go to the SSP, serve their creative, and then that's served to the customer on the Democratic Gazette. Now,
and all of this happens in like seconds.
So what's your guys' guess of how quickly this happens?
1.2 seconds.
Definitely seconds.
Less than a second.
Oh, wow.
So the time it takes
behind.
the time it takes for your website to load and you see all those ads on the side, all of those bids occurred. So they call it RTB, real-time bidding. And so that all happens probably within 300 milliseconds.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That is really fast.
And what does SSP stand for again?
SSP stands for Supply Side Platform.
Okay.
So if anyone is talking about DSP, always know that there's a complementary piece to it called an SSP.
Okay.
Without the SSP, the DSP really struggles to scale, and vice versa. An SSP doesn't have the bandwidth to connect with brands or agencies directly in most cases. So they lean into DSPs to aggregate all that demand, all that money that they want to push through the pipes. And the SSP and DSP work really well with each other.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I think DSP gets thrown out a lot in agency worlds and .com, but SSP is rarely talked about. So I think it's good to show both sides and how they work together.
And you can think of it as, like, understandably, DSP is what's talked about. Mm-hmm. But as the market matures, curation of inventory, that is a brand saying, I don't want to show up on this website for this customer, and I don't even want to be shown those opportunities. I don't want any money to go to that website. That's the SSP curating inventory for you. Mm-hmm. That's them creating deal IDs and then telling the DSP or telling the brand, hey, plug in this deal ID that curates inventory for you, so that when an opportunity comes from our SSP, it's only the opportunities you've agreed to be served up. So there's it's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a massive industry. It's still in its early days, and I've been exposed to it through other parties and just asking questions and learning from as many people as I possibly can. But the reason why we're even talking about it is because there's this new offering or this new buzzword called retail media. And so retail media is the Walmarts, the Targets, the Krogers of the world saying, oh my gosh, I have all this first party data. I know my customer really well, and I want them to buy more on my website. So how do I create a retail media offering that provides first party data to empower advertisers to advertise more accurately with customer data that is, of course, anonymized, that it's following all privacy laws, but it allows Nike to serve an ad to a customer on the Democratic Gazette. They click on it, it takes them to Walmart.com, they buy the shoes.
There you go.
That's really powerful stuff.
Yeah. Wow. And so Walmart Connect they are just now getting into that. They're like dipping their toes. They're ready to. Yeah.
So they've, back in the day, they used to be called Walmart Media Group. They started hiring a ton of people from advertising technology from these DSPs and SSPs, and they rebranded to Walmart Connect. They announced a partnership with the Trade Desk. So the Trade Desk is a DSP, and basically said, we're going to try and build a network where you, the advertiser, can decide to spend money on our Walmart DSP, which functions through the Trade Desk, and leverage our first-party data to advertise more effectively to our customers. And the really exciting piece to all this is that it's not just Walmart.com sales. It's also going to be Walmart in-store sales.
Oh, wow.
So I'm so excited about this because the opportunity here is massive, because never before have you as an advertiser been able to advertise on display ads, Democratic Gazette, and then serve connected TV ads. And then that customer who's been targeted through those two, and then you hit them with a podcast ad, so audio advertising, and then that customer goes into a Walmart store, buys the product. That sale in store is attributed to your online advertising strategy.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
And so it's really exciting to see Walmart go down this path. And yes, Amazon has their DSP, and that's, doing really well. But Amazon doesn't have the brick and mortar presence the way Walmart does. Yeah. So this is, very cutting edge stuff that Walmart is going into. And we're right there with them as, trying to get our client base interested in Walmart DSP.
Why do you think Walmart's doing this? Like, why did they just see the opportunity and they're like, yeah, we need to do this too?
Yeah, the tech has caught up. So there are scalable solutions right now. DSPs and SSPs have built solutions that retailers are able to leverage pretty easily. And the competition in advertising has gone from Google being the big player, still is a massive player for advertising, getting advertising dollars from brands. But Google mostly is using third-party data. So they're using a lot of deterministic measurements. So thinking that this person bought something at Walmart, but they don't actually know.
I don't know. Walmart knows.
But Walmart knows. And so Amazon was the first one to make that conclusion of, oh, wow, we have all this first-party data. We can do off Amazon, so off of Amazon.com advertising, and enable our brands to advertise more effectively, so have a higher return on ad spend. So Walmart is looking at the competition. They're trying to figure out, how do I increase top line revenue? How do I increase profitability? And advertising naturally is that next step. So Walmart is kicking it all off right now. They're making it available to advertisers through third parties. So the beauty of us being part of Essential is that Flywheel and Perpetua have access to the Walmart DSP. And at the same time, you've got Target, Kroger's, all these other retailers looking at and launching their version of a DSP.
It's funny, Corey calls it Kroger's, which is a classic Northeast or Northwest response to what that is. But to that point, I'm curious, how long has Amazon been in the DSP space?
Oh, gosh. So this is the problem with me being fascinated by DSPs, but not actually knowing the statistics of Amazon. But I want to say they've been at it for 5-6 years, but yeah, don't hold me to that.
Okay.
But I will say, from a revenue standpoint, Amazon, all of their advertising before they came out with their DSP, 100% was online on Amazon.com, and it's what we see right now with Walmart. It's sponsored ad placements in search results, and you're able to bid on that opportunity. That was great and all. And since the Amazon DSP launched, 20% of Amazon's advertising revenue comes from the Amazon DSP.
Wow.
And it's in the billions of dollars, what Amazon is doing with advertising.
It's amazing.
So the opportunity is there. The pie is growing, and Walmart's just trying to pull from that pie and also just provide a more accurate measurement of not just online sales, but also in-store sales.
Yeah. And to that point, I think the fact that, and we'll fact check, 5-6 years on you, Corey, there to make sure that it hasn't been that long. But I think sometimes people get the feeling that Walmart is behind where Amazon is at, especially on the e-com side of things. Mm-hmm. And if you think about all that's changed in the last 1.5 to 2 years with Walmart specifically, and this omni approach that they've taken, to think about now DSP launching and us being really in the absolute early stages. We're looking at the start of what will be a huge part of Walmart to come in the future. I think that's exciting to see that Walmart really is on track and on pace and looking to outpace, even Amazon and others in this space.
Yeah, and I think the unfair advantage Walmart has is their deep relationships with some of the largest brands in the world. These brands already spend a lot with Walmart Connect, and if they can leverage first-party data to really superpower their offline advertising, why wouldn't they go with Walmart? If it accounts for majority of their revenue in brick and mortar, might as well leverage all that amazing data to just have a higher return on ad spend. rather than relying on Instagram or Facebook or Google for online advertising, just work with the Walmart DSP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this service it's brand new, and so is it a self-service platform? Kind of, or is it? Do you have to work with a third party and the third party manages it?
Yeah, so I know within Essential, WhyteSpyder is working specifically with Perpetua on this service offering. For us, it's managed service. So we want to provide a service to you and manage all of your advertising in the Walmart DSP. That's not to say we won't have a self-serve solution in the future. Perpetua is great because their system doesn't just do Walmart advertising. It also does Amazon advertising, Instacart, Target, and they're continuing to expand to all of these on-site advertising solutions. They also do the Amazon DSP. So naturally, they are going to work on a self-serve solution. But that's not to say other third parties don't have a self-serve solution for Walmart DSP.
Yeah. I think to add to that point about being under that Essential umbrella, the beauty of where Perpetua specifically is at right now is they've seen the progression on Amazon and other sites for DSP, and they've been able to build out the tools and the expertise to know kind of how to approach it at Walmart. And I think that's something that Walmart does very well, is they pull in partners that have this expertise, they give them access to something like this, and then allow them to go out and build that out to be efficient with it. And so we're excited to be kind of in this early stage kickoff process as well, to just add to what suppliers have access to at Walmart today with these new offerings.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, people can come and this is open to just any supplier or seller that's on Walmart. They just have to come and work with one of these third parties. And so why is this an advantage to them? Like, why do they want to do it? Why should they? Yeah,
so it's not a saturated market yet. So if you get in now, not only are you not up against the same number of suppliers that you may have on the Amazon DSP, but you're also learning alongside with Walmart Connect. You can actually contribute your experiences to Walmart Connect and influence how this product functions in the future. So what I've seen in programmatic advertising is that you have to start in some way at square one and build your way up so that your foundation is packed with knowledge on what to do and what not to do. The pitfall with the trade desk is that if you go in yourself as an untrained trade desk or untrained trader in programmatic advertising, you could easily burn through $50,000 and not really see a return on investment. So if you start small and you go through this Walmart DSP and you go through Perpetua as a managed service, that gives you a lot more opportunity to learn without risking tens of thousands of dollars. And the great thing is Perpetua, as managed service account managers, they've already created this foundation. They know how to spend money, and it's just a matter of curating the inventory, curating the catalog to make it work for you. So plenty of opportunity to get in now. The great thing is with Perpetua, that's actually available today. So in terms of onboarding, it's a matter of just 2 to 3 weeks to just get rolling with the Perpetua team.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was my next thing. Is like, how do you get started? Like, how do you, if you're like this sounds like an amazing opportunity. I want to get in. How do I get started? I want to do it now. Now we know it's 2 weeks. Yeah. You can't do it now. You got to wait 2 weeks.
Well, if in terms of the application process, it'll be 2 to 3 weeks for you to basically say, hey, I'm working with Perpetua. They're going to be my managed service partner for Walmart DSP. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for Walmart Connect team to review the application, and then they would basically sign off on it and just, in a way, just open up these pipes for you. And then the Perpetua team is able to start advertising on your behalf. But I mean, Philip, how as part of the sales team, how do you want them to be onboarded?
I think we're already behind and late, and we need to get started as soon as we can. But yeah, to that point, for a lot of our clients we work with today through WhyteSpyder, this is all just a progression of what we've been talking about for a very long time, right? So you are improving content, you're improving first search and conversion, all these things. And now we've been given this huge opportunity to use what Walmart has in first-party data to target your shoppers all over the place. And so I think if you're connected to us today, or even if you're not, but you have a contact at WhyteSpyder, send us an email, give us a call. Let's get you in that program as soon as possible. Allow you to be kind of in the wild west of DSP at Walmart, and that just puts you that much farther ahead. I think the best quote I have on that is something that one of our clients told us on a podcast not too long ago. He said, and I believe it's a George Washington quote, and then more recently a Ryan King quote, but he said, what's the best time to plant a tree? And 15 years ago. What's the second best time to plant a tree? Right now. Yeah. And so I think that's something to think about from an evolution of Walmart. We've seen Walmart move very quickly, and at this point, the only thing that you have to do to get in this program is to reach out to us and let us connect you with our sister company Perpetua and get you on the docket to start with DSP.
All right, there you go. And Philip wants to be the closer. He thinks really hard at night to think, how am I going to close this podcast?
Yeah,
amazingly.
I spent probably days really thinking about how to close this podcast, and then we talked about DSP instead of quality scores, and so that changed my approach. Yeah. But when there's when there's a good quote or something that applies, you just have to keep repeating it. So sooner or later, that'll get a little bit old. I also would like to just shout out the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. I hope that they will follow us. I think this is probably the most we've talked about them on a podcast.
That's awesome. Yeah.
If you're not subscribed to the Gazette, go out and do that as well.
Go now. And then
you got some good content out there.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll work with them on how to get more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be let's bring them on. Let's do some. We'll get our events in the paper. It'll be great.
Yeah. The next podcast, Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.